on Instagram as well. So if you're watching on Instagram, we're going to go live there too. See here. Here we go. All right. So we're live on all platforms. All right. So welcome to our YouTube viewers as well. We are here on day 5 of our 20-day live streams every single day at 5 p.m. We're answering your questions. We're going to get you on camera as well if you want to join us in our YouTube community. And today we'll be talking about, among other things, if USCIS and other immigration agencies are actually checking on you, and how are they checking on you in terms of investigating. And I just posted a video on our TikTok specifically talking about that, where a couple went through the green card interview and they told them that everything is good. And then the USCIS officers are started investigating. They pulled the credit report and they wanted to see what's going on with the information on the credit report. And the reason why they've done that is because they had suspicion probably during the interview about the couple, so they did that. So how often do they do that? We'll talk about that and what other things they do to check on you, to investigate your case. Some things that are happening right now in 2024. We'll talk about that. You're watching here on YouTube, on Facebook, on our Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and our Facebook page. Welcome, Ralph. Welcome, MD, John, Leo. Drop your questions and also let me know where you're from. And I'm also going to post the link to join us on video. If you want to join us on video, right now we're doing it on our YouTube page, but you can also ask your questions here on TikTok, and I'm going to get to you in a second. Posting the link here if you want to join on video on the YouTube. So please post your questions and I'll get to you. This is day 5 of our 20-day live stream. Let me know where you're tuning in so we can get to your questions. We got so many people here. I'm excited. All right. So we are getting your questions from TikTok first. Barry is asking, hello, Nelly. Good to see you again. Barry is asking, I filed my I-601A in 2023. It was 33 months. Now it's 46 months. When does it count from? So typically right now, processing times for I-601A cases is about 3 years, 3.5 years. And this is from the date of filing. So the date when you filed your case. We got really good questions here. How long does it take to get a work permit for U visa? Right now, U visa work permits are about 6 months. So it takes about 6 months. Can you explain? Can you explain what expedited removal is? So expedited removal is a process that typically happens for people who arrive at the border. It doesn't usually take place inside the United States, but if you arrive at the border, I'll definitely sign up for the link, and I will get you in the order for your video questions. So again, expedited removal is people typically come to the border or they apprehend around the vicinity of the border. They could be removed by the immigration officer. They don't need to appear. They don't need to go before a judge, and they can be sent away right away. And so typically expedited removal is kind of like deportation for sure. Abir is asking how to be a resident in the United States with a B1, B2 visa. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Thanks, Linda Pella. Appreciate the. Don't forget, guys, we have a goal here with our bolts. Let's hit that goal. This is to inspire immigrants and support immigration reform. If you're here on a B1, B2, and you're married to a citizen, you can file for what is called adjustment of status, and you can get your green card from inside the United States by filing the adjustment of status. That's what you should be doing. How do we get a hold of you? I'll tell this every time. If you're watching this on TikTok, just send me a DM, or there's a link in my bio. You can use that one. And if you're watching it here on YouTube, please use this phone number here, 619-483-4549. This is the best number. And also, if you're watching this on Instagram, you can send me a DM or use this number right here on the screen. How long is the wait time for K1? Oops. The wait time for K1 right now is about 2 years. If you're filing a fiance visa, it's about 2 years or so. Thanks. Thank you so much, Yvet. I appreciate that. The gifts and the bolts. Um, all right, let's take a video question first from YouTube. And we have Ralph who is waiting. Ralph, where are you from? And one question.
How you doing, Jacob? I'm from Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Uh, Question is, I filed a 130 for my wife. I'm a U.S.
Okay.
citizen.
Okay.
I filed a 130 for my wife. Um, I don't even. All the paperwork is done.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on an appointment date,
Okay.
and my priority date was April 12th of 2022.
Okay.
Now the question is, can I get a visa tourist in
For
meantime of
her.
that?
For
Yes,
her.
yes.
Yeah, you can get a tourist visa. The question is if they're going to give it to you. It's going to be. It's hard to say, but you can try. But the chances of getting a tourist visa, if you have a green card pending, is not that. It's not likely.
It's not likely.
No. So you can
Okay,
try though. You can try.
I can try. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All right.
Thank you very much, Jacob. You have a great day now.
Appreciate it. So basically, if you have a green card pending, like in his case, he filed for his spouse. Um, they want the spouse to come to visit as a tourist. The embassy is not going to issue a tourist visa because the tourist visa, the basis is known immigrant intent. And if you want to come here and you're applying for immigration, the chances of getting a tourist visa are not so good. All right, let's take another question from our YouTube. Um, Question from Mo Mon. Got a green card through employment and planning to switch to a new employer. Will I have issues renewing my green card or applying for citizenship later with my old employer? Um, so if you already have your green card, right? It doesn't matter how you got your green card, if you got it through employment or any other way. Once you have your green card, you are able to work whenever you want. The green card is not subject to any employer. Typically, if you get a green card through employment, we recommend to stay with the employer that sponsored you for at least 6 months, and then you can do whatever you want. But even if you want to move before, it's fine. So once you have a green card, it's not going to impact your citizenship or anything like that. All right, let's get more questions from our TikTok friends. We have a question here from Nelly. Can siblings wait for their adjustment of status inside the United States? So when you file for your siblings, um, it's a petition that goes into a preference category F4. And right now, this preference is taking about 14 to 20 years, depending on where you're from. And during this time, you're not allowed to stay in the United States because that's just how the law is. You need to have a different status, some sort of different status to be able to do it. Now, they've been talking about a special visa called Visa V. That, again, it was a proposal to create a visa, special visa that will allow people to come to the United States and wait here while their sibling petition is pending. But for the moment, it's not available. All right, let's take another video call from Eddie, who is waiting on hold here on our video platform on YouTube. And again, we're streaming live also on YouTube, showing people can come on video. And Eddie, let us know where you're from and ask one question.
Hi, Jacob. Thanks for the service you're providing and congrats on the 20 years.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
from Chicago.
Yeah.
Adjusting status now. I'm going to apply for adjustment. So,
Okay.
what do you, is there any visa availability issue for adjustment of status in 2024, or is just right away applying it?
Adjustment of status based on what? Who's going to be adjusting your status?
Me, marriage based, I'm on B visa,
Marriage.
B1
Oh,
visa.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If you're here on a tourist visa and you're married to a US citizen, there's no wait. You can just file, and within 11 months, you should be able to get it. Have you started the process already?
I'm preparing the documents, I'm preparing
Okay.
evidences.
Well, I mean, it's perfect opportunity. Just send me a text right here. I'll be more than happy to help you. But yeah, of course, you're eligible to file it because you're a tourist and you're inside the United States.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye
Thanks.
bye.
Appreciate it. Of course. So we have a lot of people who are getting married in 2024. Thanks, Caro. Appreciate it. Keep sending those bolts. So yeah, right now it's a good time to file the green card based on marriage. They're processing cases fairly quickly. 10 months average in most jurisdictions. So yeah, why not? All right, let's see more questions here from TikTok. Vanessa Valera is asking, I applied for EB1, then she got an RFE, withdrew the case to apply for EB2. Can I change the case strategy? Vanessa, yes, of course. So, if you withdraw your case, no matter what case it is, in this case, it's an EB1 exceptional ability case. The RFE is, right now, people are getting really, really hard requests for evidence in those cases. And so Vanessa withdrew her case and now she wants to apply for EB2, but she wants to change the strategy, maybe put different evidence. Absolutely. It's going to be a brand new case. And it's actually a good strategy to do that, because sometimes when you apply for a case and the RFE is so hard that you can't even answer it, the good strategy is just completely withdraw the case and start fresh. So yeah, absolutely. And if you need help, just send me a DM. Another question is, if you file for asylum, it's a question from TikTok. If you file for asylum but you have an LLC, your own company, can you change your status using a business sponsorship? So asylum can change to a business sponsorship, but that really depends on when you filed the asylum. Did you file the asylum when you were still in status, or you were already out of status years or months later and then you filed for asylum? Now you want to switch to a green card. That's going to be more difficult. But if you filed for asylum while you were still in status, 100%, that's probably a possibility that I would explore if you have a better option. That's great. Some people did their own cases here and they're reporting it. That's amazing. What is the process? Question from Jess. What is the process for military parole in place for undocumented parents? So basically, if you are a U.S. citizen child over 21, or you can be you can be over 18 actually, to apply for parole in place, and your parents are undocumented. They came here without inspection, and now you want to help your parents. You join the military, you join the Army Reserve. The process is you file an application using Form I-131. It's called parole in place, based on your military status. Once that's approved, your parents are going to be able to apply for adjustment of status. That's one of the best ways to legalize undocumented parents, just so you know. All right, let's take another one, another video request from YouTube. And this is Mimi. Mimi, I just lost you. Mimi, come back and I'll be able to get you back on video. In the meantime, we'll take Feria. Feria
Hello.
August,
Yes.
Augusta.
Yes, Ogis. Yes, good night. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Mimi is back, but I lost her. You know what? Let me get Mimi first because she was before, and I'll get you back after. Okay?
No.
Let's get Mimi.
Oh,
Here we go. Hey, Mimi.
thank you. I got out of my car and I lost
No
you.
worries, no worries.
So,
I
so
gave you
for,
the chance. I
I
gave
know,
you the
bless your
chance.
heart. As soon as I got out
Okay.
of the car, the door opened.
Yeah. No
But
worries. Let
no,
me know where you're from and ask one question.
sure. I'm from Ohio. And the one question I do have is I'm 65 years old and
Okay.
I have been divorced 40 years now. My husband just died
Okay.
after
Okay.
40 years of being divorced. But I met
Okay.
somebody else when I moved into this condo here in Ohio. He's 58 years old. He's never been married. And basically, he went back on a work visa. He was here for 20 years on a work visa. He didn't
Okay.
tell me any of this was happening, but they sent him. They basically lost his job, so he voluntarily went back.
Okay.
And trying to get him back here, and I miss him, and he's just really, really depressed. So I don't
Okay.
know what the best way to do it is. I don't know if
So
it would have been better
he's been here for 20 years without visa status.
as status as a work visa. Yes, no, he
So he
was
had
in
a work visa.
status.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for 20
excellent.
years. Yeah,
Oh,
and then
perfect.
he
So
voluntarily went back, sold his condo and went back, but I didn't know this was voluntary. I thought he was doing it because he wanted to go back. Well, come to find out he didn't. It was because he lost his job and he panicked. So
okay.
now he's back there and I want to get married to him, but I don't know what the best way to approach that is.
Okay. That's a good question. I'll answer
Yeah.
it. And where are you based?
I'm in Ohio. And
Okay.
both my parents were Canadian too, so I'm trying to get citizenship
Okay.
by birthright because I have two
Okay.
Canadian parents. So I'm applying for that right now myself.
Okay. Perfect.
But he's
I'll
up in
answer it.
Canada by Buffalo.
Perfect. So the best way to do it is to get married, and then you
Hmm.
file for his green card based on marriage, and then
Hmm.
that process will go through the consular process. Does he have the right to come here as a tourist to visit?
Yeah, he has a right to come here as a tourist. Could we get married if he came here as a
Yeah,
tourist?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, once he comes back after a few months, you should be able to get married and file for adjustment in the
Okay, so he
U.S.
could come here back as a tourist and get married and be no problem, and then he could just
Well,
stay, or does he have
I
to go
mean,
back to Canada?
well, well, normally, his intention should not be to come here to marry. So you should come to
Right.
visit. You can be here as a visitor, and after a few months that you're here together, then you can make the decision to get married. He shouldn't be
Okay,
arriving here as a visitor and telling the government that he's coming to get married.
got it.
But it's
Well, we've
possible, yeah.
known each other for 2 years now, so I
That's
mean,
no
it's not
problem.
like it just
Yeah,
happened yesterday. So,
that's an easy. Yeah.
okay,
So just send
is
me a
it easy?
text. Send me a
Is it easier
text.
to do it through the consulate in Montreal, or just to do it the way you're suggesting? Come
I
here,
mean, it
come back on
depends.
this.
I mean, the every way has advantages and disadvantages. I mean,
Okay,
like feel free to like send me a text and I can give you all
I
the
will do
options.
that. I will do
All
that.
right.
And thank you. You're
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
Have a great.
Appreciate it. Very nice. So basically, as I can see, a lot of people are getting married, which is amazing. The point is that if a person has the right to come here as a tourist and you're not, creating anything illegal, you can come here and then get married afterwards. All right. More questions. We got to hear. Republican Jeff Jackson said there might be a major immigration bill that may occur soon. Any comments? Yes. So there are a few bills that are being currently drafted and they're going to be introduced very soon. Most of these bills are going to be introduced probably starting from February. And they're going to be, I would say, a mix of like the Dignity Act and a few other bills that we've seen in the past 2 years. One of these bills is going to include some provisions for DACA to some final way for permanent solution for DACA to residency. There's going to be a program that they're trying to a bill that they will introduce that will have some sort of a way, kind of like a mini registry, where they put a date that anybody who came here before that date will be able to get their green card here. So I feel like every election year, you see a big push for immigration, and we might see actually something happening. I don't know if it's going to be a big reform, but it will be something that will be useful. So we'll see if that happens. Obviously, we'll update you, but definitely it's going to be a very interesting year for immigration, and I think that we'll see something pretty cool happening. Um, all right, we've got. Dana says, "What's going on with pending asylums? I've been waiting for 5 years. What can I do to expedite it?" So yesterday, if you saw my live yesterday, I did talk about the backlogs of the court. There is a very, very severe backlog of asylum cases, removal petitions, and specifically in immigration courts right now. This is a backlog that they're trying, obviously, to do something about it, but it is a very severe backlog. Right now, people report waiting 8 years for their hearings. And again, maybe they will find a solution through some sort of a bill or something, but it's definitely being frustrating to wait so long. All right, let's get Faria back on video to ask her question. She's been waiting patiently, and you know, we're here to accommodate everybody from all platforms. And those of you watching on Instagram, feel free to post your questions as well. And or send me a DM. We'll respond. All right. Please ask your question and where are you from?
Yes, I'm from the Caribbean, but I live in the United States. I live in
Okay.
VA, Virginia.
Okay.
I applied for adjustment of status through marriage in 2021.
Okay.
During the COVID, it was approved, and then they sent it, but I did not get it because I did not receive it because my attorney moved, and when they
Okay.
got to the office, yeah. So then my husband and I we did an I-90 in
Okay.
2021, and yeah, I did a biometrics in 2022 January, and I'm still waiting. I haven't heard anything. So
Okay, so once again, there's definitely backlogs also with I-90s.
uh-huh.
You should be able to make an appointment at the local immigration office. They're going to give you a stamp, I-551 stamp, to validate your status as a green card holder, and you're going to be able to
Mm-hmm.
work and travel with this stamp until your I-90 card is going to be sent. Right now, these I-90 cards are taking a while, but because right now you don't have any proof of your green card, correct?
No, because I never received it. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
I know, but in the system you've been approved, correct? You're a green card holder right now, so
Yes, I'm,
you need to make an appointment at the USCIS office, InfoPass. Go
uh-huh.
there. They're gonna log in the computer. They're gonna find out what's happening with your card, and they're gonna give you a stamp, and that stamp is gonna be proof of your green card for now.
Okay,
Okay.
so what did I do? Call them?
Call the immigration, ask for InfoPass, make an appointment
Uh-huh.
at your local office, and
Yeah.
they're gonna give you a stamp. Okay.
Okay, so so I have an ID from DMV, but it's not a real ID. I just have a Virginia ID. Can I
Oh,
travel within the United States?
yes, you can. All right. Just go
Would
with
I
your
wouldn't get
passport
in,
and get the stamp. No, you won't get into
excuse
trouble.
me?
Right?
Just get my passport.
Correct. And your ID, and you can travel. Okay.
Uh, with or
Thank you so much.
without the green card?
Absolutely. Inside you can. Inside the US you can.
Okay, so
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for you. So
Thank you.
again, any of you, oh, sorry, any of you that if you lost your green card or if you in the process of getting it, you can go to the UCIS office, get a stamp. That's going to be proof that you have status as a green card holder. All right, we've got a lot of people are asking questions on TikTok as well. Let's get there. I'm a DACA recipient since 10 years. I wanted to know what will happen to DACA with the elections. Okay, so coming back to what I said before, there are quite a few bills that are being worked on. I think at least a few of them are going to address DACA specifically. I don't think anything is going to happen to DACA this year, like a bad thing. I don't think they're going to cancel it. Even with a court hearing, it will be appealed. It will go to the Supreme Court. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen with the bills because, as you know, before election year, they're all trying, both sides are trying to use immigration as a tool. Thanks, Nelly. Use immigration as a tool, and it's going to be interesting to see it. Okay. 601A was approved. This is a question from Johanna. How long is it taking for interviews? So it depends on your embassy. In Ciudad Juarez, after approval of 601A waivers in the US and schedule for appointments, taking it anywhere from 3, sometimes even 6 months. It depends. If it's a different embassy, they're a little bit quicker. So it depends on your embassy. But it's a good news that your waiver is approved. Do not leave the country until you have an approved waiver. All right, we've got next. We'll take a few written questions from our YouTube viewers. Did a police report and it was a 245 assault with a deadly weapon. Does it qualify for U visa? Well, I mean, it's not just about the crime. It potentially could, but we need to know the circumstances, what state it happened, what was your involvement to see if you qualify for U visa. There's a list of crimes that will qualify. Potentially could be, but I need more details about exactly what happened. So again, any of you that need assistance, take advantage of these lives because we have special programs for you guys. All you have to do, use that phone number right here to reach out to our team. And for you guys on TikTok, because you're watching the lives, you have direct access to me. Send me a DM, mention that you were on the live or the link in the bio, and we'll get in touch. We do help clients in all 50 states. I know you, but many of you are asking this question. We do. Immigration is federal. I can do this in all 50 states, but we do have offices, West Coast, San Diego, and East Coast in Connecticut. All right, we've got a lot of questions here as well. How much do you, question from BM73, how much do you have to invest for an E2 visa approval for Canadian wanting to move and live in the US? So we do a lot of these E2 visa, investor visas. Typically, we recommend minimum of $50,000 for small business. But again, it depends on your business. Depends what kind of business you're looking to do. You know, if you're going to do a restaurant or something larger in scale in an area which is more expensive, like California, you have to invest more money than if you're going to invest in Ohio, for example. So it depends. There's no set amount, but I would never do an E2 with less than 50,000 because those cases are going to be hard to yeah, to go through. BB is asking, can my wife still naturalize if she got a Class D misdemeanor? She's been a permanent resident for 7 years. I got a few questions here also on YouTube about people that commit misdemeanors, petty offenses, and they have green cards. It really depends on the offense. It really depends on the background of the person that committed it. So there are some misdemeanors that will hurt you and you won't be able to apply for citizenship. And there are others that you can get waivers or you can get, post-conviction relief. It's really important to work with a criminal attorney to be able to determine that. So that's what I would say in that. All right, we got another video question here, and next one is James. James, uh, how are you? And where are you from? Yeah, where are you
Oh,
from?
I'm
And
in
ask the
Raleigh, North
question.
Carolina.
North
Raleigh, North
Carolina. Okay.
Carolina. Sorry, one
Yeah,
second.
no worries.
Hear me?
Okay.
How you doing today? Yeah, I
Hey, pretty
do
good.
have a problem, which would be a false claim to citizenship that I didn't
Yeah.
make the claim. I got my
Okay.
identity stolen. So I was
Okay.
trying to see how you guys can help me out. I don't know if that's a permanent bar or what's
Of
going
course.
on.
That's a good question, actually. I've got a few questions about it. So basically, this is a question about false claim to U.S. citizenship. This is
Yeah.
something that whenever there's a false claim, whether it was intentional or unintentional, we, I've done a lot of these cases. We won a lot of cases where people they voted by mistake, and on the form it said that they were a U.S. citizen, but they didn't. We have people that they claim to be a U.S. citizen on an employment I-9 form. So those cases are complicated, but you can win them. It all goes to the state of mind of what happened and why you did it. So I don't want you to tell me too much information live because it's your privacy, but I'm more than happy to help you if you send me a text right here and I can
Okay.
decide
No,
what we're
like
going to do.
I didn't make the claim. I got my identity stolen, and somebody registered me to vote.
Right. But what I'm
So,
saying is that it's still your name that was used. It's
hmm
kind of like somebody goes to DMV and they didn't know that the DMV agent registered them to vote. So there's ways to go again and file a request with USCIS to waive this and not make it a claim. Do you understand? So there's ways to do it.
okay,
What we're going to do is we're going to take statements from you. We're going to analyze exactly how it happened. And then before we file your citizenship, we'll prepare the legal memo. And that's kind of how we
oh,
do it. Okay?
okay,
So just
all
reach
right,
out to me and I'll help you.
all right. Thank you. Have a good
No
night.
worries. And that's a really good example of what happened to this person because he didn't intentionally claim to be a US citizen. This happened because his identity was stolen and somebody essentially kind of voted for on his behalf. But a lot of people get to those points where they go to the DMV to renew their driving license, and the DMV agents will automatically register you to vote, and then it looks like you voted as a green card holder, where it's actually an offense to do that. And so there are ways to present the case to the government to still be able to get your citizenship by showing them that it wasn't really your fault. It was you never planned to do it. Um, all right, let's take another question from Dylan, and then Kathy is in line as well. Dylan, where are you from? And what's your question? And then I'll go back to our friends in TikTok. And if you want to do the video chat, by the way, from TikTok, I'm doing the video chat on YouTube. But at the end of the stream, I'll take some video calls from TikTok as well. So stay put, and we'll get to you guys as well. Yes, Dylan, question and where
Hi,
are you from?
Hi,
Yes,
Jacob. I'm from Arizona, and congratulations on 20 years. I've been following you for a while, for years
thank you, sir.
now.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Um, my question is very simple. I came here to the States in December 2022. I got married in February. My wife filed for I-130, and then
Okay,
I filed for I-485 in March. 2023. So
Okay.
it's January 2024 now. Before I got my work permit, I was waiting for a long time and I had to call the congressman. The congressman helped me and my work permit came out so fast.
Okay.
And then I'm feeling that my green card is taking a longer time because when I go into the tab, the progress tab, it says I have 5 months left. And my wife's progress tab on I-130 says she has 2 weeks left. So it fluctuates 5 months, 2 weeks, 5 months, 2 weeks. So we don't know what's going on. And we have a lot of friends who are getting approved. A lot of people are getting approved in 2024, and I'm not getting approved. They
Right.
had asked me for the request for evidence, financial and medical. I'd sent in. They received it 4 months ago. And typically, I read online that within 60 days, they get back to you with a decision,
Right.
but it's 4 months and nothing. So I just keep getting anxious and just wonder if there's anything, if I should go
So
to the congressman again or no.
you can go to the congressman again. Like I say, it seems like you have delays in your case. You can do that, but if this doesn't work, then maybe you can try the ombudsman's office. You can make an inquiry with the ombudsman's office, and it's another way to find out what's happening with your case. Just Google ombudsman's office inquiry.
Okay.
Okay.
What? Sorry. How's the spelling, please?
Um, the ombudsman's office. I'll tell you. You know what? I'll post it in the comments.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay?
much.
I'll post it in the comments, and so
Yes.
you have it. And you can Google it. But
Okay.
that's
I'll
a
do
free
that.
form. You can make an inquiry, and then and somebody from UCIS can help you with
Okay.
this.
All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Yes, sir.
Perfect. I'll post it there. And if
Thank
you
you.
don't see it in the comments, just send
Yeah.
me a text, and our team members can send you that as well. Can help you.
All right. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Let me take another question from here, from the written, and it says, um, "I'm on DACA. I've been DACA for 10 years. I filed for my VAWA in October 2023. I wanted to know what will happen to DACA, knowing it's also an election year." So it's kind of a similar question where people ask here. DACA is fine right now. There might be some changes in terms of like maybe a new bill or maybe the court hearing for DACA that may come at some point in 2024, but I don't think that they're going to do anything to DACA right now. For DACA, you can still file you can still file renewals and advance parole and a work permit. You cannot file for new DACA applications, and I don't think it's going to change in 2024. But things might be more interesting after summer of 2024. We're going to see some new bills that will be coming in. All right, let me take a few more questions from TikTok. Let's see here. If someone gets approved for citizenship, has dual citizenship, can they travel back home and reside in their other country? Yeah, if you get your citizenship approved, so you're a U.S. citizen and then you're a dual citizen from another country, you can leave the U.S. and you can live whenever you want. It doesn't matter where. You don't have to live in the U.S. As long as you're a U.S. citizen, you're not going to lose it. But if you have a green card, if you leave for more than a year, then you will lose your green card. All right, let's take Kathy's video question. And then we have Yvette and Jude are waiting also for the video. And then we have a bunch of questions here. And we have Instagram questions and we have TikTok, but I'll get to everybody. All right. Kathy, hello. Where are you from? And ask your question.
Yeah, hi Jacob. I'm Kathy. I'm actually from San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice to talk to you.
Are you in San
So,
Diego right now?
yeah, uh-huh.
Oh,
Yes.
nice. Very good.
All
Enjoying the
right.
rain.
So, yes, pretty bad weather right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a US citizen and I file a DS 260 for my husband. Everything was document approved July of
Okay.
2023. So right now we're waiting for an appointment in the embassy in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. So I just
Yeah.
want to know how long. I know you've been talking, there's a backlog, but right now
Mhm.
we've been waiting for 6 months. I don't know how much longer approximately.
So right now, we have a lot of people also watching on TikTok, and they have a lot of cases there in Ciudad Juarez. Right now, it's taking about at least 6 months average, maybe a little bit longer for them to schedule. But I mean, you should be getting your appointment very soon. I mean, if you've been waiting for
Cool.
6 months, I
Yeah,
think you should
6 months.
probably by February, maybe late February. Make
Okay.
sure you follow up with them, and hopefully you'll get your appointment. But it looks like
Yeah,
if they didn't ask you for anything and you checked in your CS system, there's no problems. You should be good.
correct.
Your case
Yeah,
doesn't have a waiver, right? You don't have a waiver, correct? It's a regular
no,
case. Okay.
correct.
Yeah, so you're fine. Probably in a month or so you'll
Great.
be good. Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
All
Have a
right.
great day.
Perfect. Yeah, a lot of people who are going to the Ciudad Juarez process are frustrated because it's taking forever right now. But I'm hoping that we'll see faster movement. All right. More questions from our TikTok community. Richard is asking, when will the visa bulletin start moving from 2016? What category? Basically, the visa bulletin. I know a lot of our YouTube followers are interested in my visa bulletin predictions, but right now the visa bulletin is still kind of like slow. I think after May of 2024, we're going to see some real numbers, and I'll be able to give you more predictions as to what's going to happen. But right now, it's just not moving far. Um, Abir is asking, we were married in New York, but my husband wants to live in the US, which is way we should we go about it the quickest. Um, the quickest way is if he is able to enter the United States as a visitor and you can do the adjustment inside the United States. That'll be quicker. If you do it through the US Embassy, it's taking about 2 years. Uh, can you tell us about the interview, possible second interview for the removal of conditions? So, as you know, if you had an interview at your first green card, most likely you're not going to have an interview for the removal of conditions because they just want to, they want to save resources. But if you didn't have an interview for your first green card, like many people don't get interviews, you most likely will have an interview for your removal of conditions. If you're not going to have an interview for your first green card and for your second green card, expect a very tough citizenship interview if you ever become a US, if you ever apply for citizenship, because at some point they will have to interview you about your green card, and it will happen. So if you didn't have an interview for the first one, you will have it for your removal of conditions or for your citizenship at least. All right, what's going on with the HRT Center regarding VAWA? They're basically, as I mentioned before, they're severely behind. Many people applied for VAWA in the past 2 years, just because VAWAs cases had a really high approval rate, so people were applying for VAWA. To this day, if your marriage is falling apart and you had some emotional abuse or something like that, you can apply for VAWA, and that's another way for you to be able to stay in the U.S. All right, Yvette has been patiently waiting, and hello, Yvette. Where are you from, and what is your question?
Hi, I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay,
And my question is my dad, my mom is a resident and she filed for my dad. He did get a letter of approval for I-130 in July of 2022.
okay.
But in the letter, it did indicate that because in the application he intended to apply for a visa abroad and in the U.S. consulate, that UCIS has retained the case. So my question is like, how can we move forward, or is there anything that we have to do, or we just have to continue to wait for his turn?
So where is he now? In the U.S. or the embassy?
He's in the U.S. now.
Okay. If he's in the US, you don't have to do anything. So basically, the issue here is that the application didn't designate specifically where he's going to go, right? You didn't
Yeah.
say exactly what you're going to do here. So if he's in the US, um, once he gets his appointment, they should be able to fix that up at that time. And, because you filed the 45 as well, the adjustment of status, right?
That's what I'm not sure about, because the
Okay.
lawyer
So
does
this is what you have to do.
okay.
If he's in the US and you want to get him a green card, adjust his status here, you must file form I-485. If
Okay.
you didn't do that, his case will never go anywhere. If you just
Okay.
filed the I-130, it will stay I-130 forever. You need to
Okay.
file the adjustment. So you have to ask the attorney, why, file the adjustment.
Okay.
Okay, that's all you have
Okay.
to do.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. So let's take a few more questions here in writing. We have a lot of 601 questions. How long does it take to get approval for I-601A waiver? And I mentioned to you before, it's taken about 3.5 years to get 601 waiver approvals. And it might be even longer unless they fix the system. There was a huge lawsuit that was filed. Thanks, Sergio. Appreciate it. There was a huge lawsuit that was filed, and let me see here. Um, there we go. A huge lawsuit that was filed to speed up the 601A processing, and hopefully that's going to help. All right. See more question here. Um, does suing for delays in F1 family visa works? So the question is, people file for preference categories: brothers, sisters, parents, children over 21 of US citizens, like the F1, and they want to know if they can sue the government if it's going to speed up the visa bulletin. And the answer is no. You cannot sue the government to speed up the visa bulletin because the visa bulletin just controls how many visas are available. If there are no visas available, there's nothing for you to sue. When you can sue the government is if let's say they adjudicate your case, there's a visa number available, but they're not doing their job, they're not making a decision. That's when you sue them, right? But you cannot sue them to speed up the visa bulletin. um let's see here. We've got Richie's asking, I want to apply for advanced parole. Should I pay a lawyer or I can do it myself? You can do it yourself. You don't have to use a lawyer for advanced parole. The advantage of using an attorney is that a lawyer may sometimes make sure that he does the case properly, files the correct reasons for the advanced parole. An attorney knows, what to include in supporting documents. And sometimes if you need to inquire on your case, an attorney can do it in a more efficient way. But if you're short on money, then you don't have to, you can do it yourself. All right. We've got Jude who wants to ask a question on video. Jude, let me know where you're from and ask your question.
All right. Thank you for taking my questions. And I'm from Indiana. So
Okay.
my question to you is I filed for a DS 260 for my wife in July 2023.
Okay.
And our process been going for like 3 years overall, but she never get interview date. And then
Okay. Which country is she from?
she's from Haiti.
From Haiti. Okay.
Yes.
I get it.
Then,
So
but we filed the ISI 130 for the Dominican Republic because the embassy in Haiti was closed in
of course.
2020.
So right
So
now you guys are just waiting for the interview. Your document is complete and you're just waiting for the interview, correct?
yes, but I have another question, a
Right.
follow-up question. So since the situation was bad in Haiti, she ended up crossing to the border,
Okay.
and now she's in custody at the border.
Okay.
Then while she's at the custody, I got an email for the interview in Santo Domingo in February. I
Okay.
was wondering what can I do?
So basically, now that she's in the US and she's in custody, that interview that you have in the Dominican is gone. Okay. Now that she's in the US, everything you did so far in terms of the interview is gone. She's going to have to deal with the court system in the US. She's going to go through removal proceedings. And are you a US citizen?
Yes.
So now that she came here without inspection, she's married to you, you guys have the I-130 approved, you're going to have to go to the court. Okay. In the court,
Okay.
you'll be able to try to adjust her status if it's possible. But forget about that interview. She won't be able to use that anymore. But you should get a lawyer to help you in court. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you. I
you.
appreciate it.
Of course. So it's essentially, and it's an interesting situation where, people are so frustrated from waiting so many years. I don't blame this family. Like they're waiting, husband and wife separated, and she's fed up. So she crosses the border illegally, gets apprehended, and now that she's in custody, finally the government is scheduling her for an interview. Can you imagine? They waited for so long, and now she's basically stuck because she's going to have to go through the court system, and but the point is that I don't blame people who do that, because who wants to wait 4 or 5 years to be with their spouse, right? Like, if I had to join my wife, and if I was married, I would, maybe I would do the same, right? I mean, we can't blame anyone for that, but I think it's a messed up system. But I think in your case, if your wife doesn't have any other issues except from the illegal entry, then with a good lawyer, you should be able to fight this case and find some relief in immigration court. All right, guys. So for our YouTube viewers and Facebook and our Facebook group and Instagram, I'm gonna end the stream right now. I'll be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. We're still on TikTok. I'm not gone yet. We have a few more people to answer questions, but on YouTube, I'm going to be back tomorrow. We have a new interesting topic, maybe a few interesting guests as well during the week. And if I didn't get your question answered, I know Yinka, you're waiting. Unfortunately, I can't do the question today, but please come back tomorrow, and I will take your question first, and we'll take more questions. We have a lot of questions here on YouTube. Like, is there also delays in 24 for AOS based marriage green cards? There's still delays for green card based on marriage in 2024, but we'll analyze this tomorrow. We'll talk about some other interesting topics, and I'll give you some other updates. All right, guys. So from YouTube, come back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll do our 6th day of live streaming. Thanks for watching.